Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Movie Crusaders. My name's Sean Wasserkrug, and today we are reviewing one of the most talked about films, highly rated films of 2020, and that is Promising Young Woman. Now, this is a movie that was supposed to be coming out April of last year. It had a lot of big buzz around it, around Sundance. It was supposed to come out in April, but obviously because of COVID, that did not happen. It started to finally sprinkle out into theaters around Christmas. I obviously was not able to go see it in theaters, but today it is now released on video on demand, so you can watch it at home for $20, or you can find a movie theater that has it, because movie theaters are still showing it for a little bit cheaper, but by the time you buy popcorn and soda and drinks, it's actually going to be more expensive than you just buying it at home. Not that I am saying don't go see the movie in theaters. If it's safe for you guys, always pick a movie theater over watching it at home, personally for me. But for me, I had to watch it at home. But I had heard nothing but incredibly positive things from this movie, whether it be from the performance of Kerry Mulligan or the director, director of Emerald Fennell. I've seen the trailer for this many times, and it is definitely a movie that I had been really anticipating to see, because the trailer is incredibly intriguing for anyone who's seen the trailer. Basically, the general plot of Promising Young Woman is a young woman traumatized by tragic events of her past seeks out vengeance against those who crossed her path. I don't necessarily want to go too much more into the plot other than that, because this is definitely a movie that is better with no thought process going into it. Just go in and experience this film for what it is. The most importantly, the biggest thing is does it live up to the hype that we've all been hearing about, or me personally, that I've been hearing about since April of last year? The answer is yes. Promising Young Woman, had I had seen this prior to my end of the year list that we shot a couple weeks back, would it have been in my top 10 for the year? Absolutely. Would it have been in my top 5? There's a good possibility it would have been. This is definitely a incredibly important, powerful film. Emerald Fennell puts on a fantastic directing performance. He's directing the film. He does his visual eye for this film, the color palette for this film, the way he shoots certain shots, is done spectacularly. I've never actually heard of this director prior to this film, but I am now taking notice of this director, and I cannot wait to see what they do next with this film. Kerry Mulligan. I remember the first time I saw her was on Doctor Who, which was the Blink episode, which anyone who's a Doctor Who fan knows that episode, and they all know Kerry Mulligan because of that episode. Her acting career, I haven't really followed her much past Doctor Who. Like, her movies, it's not that she's a bad actress. I think she's a fantastic actress. It's just none of her movies are really movies that I really watched or anything like that. So I haven't really got to really watch her in a lot of things. But Kerry Mulligan puts on, to me, easily the best performance of any actress in 2020. Now, like I said, I think prior to this, I was thinking probably Elizabeth Moss, The Invisible Woman, or Invisible Man, was probably one of the best performances of the year. But to me, Kerry Mulligan, to me, is the lead front runner. Now, I have not seen Frances McDormand in Nomadland, but I think Kerry Mulligan, this is her film. She just demands your focal point in this film, and she does it with ease. From the beginning of the film all the way to the end, you are just focused on the story that we are telling through Kerry Mulligan, who plays Cassie, or Cassandra, in the film. She is a force in this movie. She is so enigmatic with her revenge that you want to see her succeed. You want to see what she does. But even if you don't necessarily agree with some of the things that she is doing, I honestly think, and because it's a movie, that she should have gone even farther than what she did in this film, personally, because I agree with her motives. I agree with what she was doing, and it was warranted in my eyes, because frankly, they tried to go the legal way. They tried to do things the right way, and when the justice failed her, this was basically what happens. And we've seen these revenge stories before, when the law and justice fails, they take matters in their own hands. And sometimes it's a really good film, Law-Abiding Citizen, and sometimes they don't do so well. This is not that case. Promising Young Woman, I keep switching young and promising around on me, but Kerry Mulligan's Cassie or Cassandra performance is fantastic. The rest of the cast around her, they don't get a whole lot to do, but they do a solid job when they're on screen. Bo Burnham plays Ryan. Did a great job directing 8th Grade a couple years back. Now does a solid job playing Ryan in this film. Adam Brody, Sam Richardson, Clancy Brown, Jennifer Coolidge, Laverne Cox, Allison Bree's got 2 great scenes in this film. Christopher Mintz-Plasse. There's so many people in this. Alfred Malia, and then 2 other names. I'm blanking on them real quick. Oh my God, where are they? Chris Lau and Connie Britton, and where's Joe? Blanking on Joe. Oh, Max Greenfield. Max Greenfield, of course. All these people, when they come into the film, they are doing a fantastic job. The directorial decisions and the acting decisions from all the characters in this film are all top-notch stellar. And the story that is being unwoven for us, this revenge tour that Cassie is on, is just, you can't look away. You cannot look away. And you just want to see what she's going to do next, how she's going to take care of this situation next. Now, the movie does, in a sense, do not tell you some of the things that happens. There are certain character elements or certain story elements that you're waiting to get explained on what happened to this person or what happened when Cassie went and did this. We didn't get to see the end point, that they are leaving a lot up to interpretation. Some people will like that. Some people will hate that. I was kind of in the middle. There were certain things I wish we would have gotten a 100% confirmation of what happened here compared to what happened there. And then there were others where I actually liked where my imagination took it compared to just being told what it is. So depending on the viewer, you either will like that or hate that. There is a twist. There's a couple twists in the film. You might like, you might dislike. I'm not going to tell you what they are. I actually hate that I just told you that there was a twist because now you're looking for it. But there's a certain part of the film near the end. It's not the actual ending, but it's near the end that is really going to be divisive for a lot of people. You're either going to be on board with it or you're not going to be on board with it. And as of right now, I'm still on the fence. I remember watching it. I was not on board. I did not like it. I was not happy with what I saw there, which is kind of the point. You don't want to be. You don't want to be happy with that, but you have to accept it and move on with the rest of the film. And then you get the ending, and the ending, like I said, I'm still on the fence of whether I liked it or not. I appreciate the uniqueness of it because they definitely could have just gone one way, and maybe that's why I didn't like it, because I didn't get the ending that I wanted or the ending that I expected, and I got something different. But you know what? It was a chance that Fennell took, and I respect him for that. It's no different than something like Gone Girl, where we thought we were going one track with it, and then Gone Girl completely flipped the script, and you were either on board with it or you weren't on board with it. I was on board with Gone Girl when it happened that time. This time I'm still, the further and further away I'm getting from watching this movie, the more I'm kind of on board with it. But the initial gut reaction as the movie was happening, I was not on board with it. I was actually quite mad by the end of the film. But now that I am getting further and further away from it, I'm accepting it, and I'm allowing myself to be more okay with it because of where the characters were going and the journeys they were on. I don't really know how they could have done it in a way where I could have gotten the ending that I had in my mind to the ending that we got currently. So I know that's a whole lot of vagueness out there, but I'm trying not to spoil anything or go into too great a detail of what happens with the journey of these characters that we spent 2 hours watching. But Promising Young Woman, I cannot go out of my way enough to recommend this film. Whether you go see it at a movie theater or whether you spend $20 at home to watch it on video on demand, Promising Young Woman is a fantastic film, directed incredibly by Emerald Fennell and led by a tour de force by Kerry Mulligan. To to me, deserves the Best Actress nomination and potentially the win for me based off of this performance alone. So I definitely strongly recommend Promising Young Woman. It is not the easiest film to watch for people who have had this situation happen to them or has had someone that they care about happen to them. But it is a very powerful film, and the message that they are trying to tell, which is vengeance in a sense. But nonetheless, strongly recommend it. Going to my review score, like I said in the previous review, the review score breakdown has changed. We are now going by a percentage grade. Here's the review scores breakdown. I'll probably do this for at least the next few reviews so you guys get used to it. But here's the breakdown of how the review scores look. And I'm going to give Promising Young Woman sorry. I'm going to give Promising Young Woman a 90%, which is an A score. Like I said, I love the direction. I love the colors they use. I love the performances of everyone around the main character. Kerry Mulligan, phenomenal. I'm just still not 100% on board with the ending, and that's why I'm going to give it a 90. Who knows? A couple weeks down the road, I could be totally in favor of the ending, and my score could go even higher than what it is right now, or I could still be on board with where I am at now, and it might drop the score down a little bit lower. But as of right now, it's going to get a 90% from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys did, go ahead and hit that like button, share, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to all the channel so you guys stay up to date with all the latest videos that pop up on the Movie Crusaders. And, of course, don't forget to follow us on all the social media outlets you see below. Coming up next, there's a couple other movies that came out this week. I just don't know if I'm going to get to them in time. You got Lockdown on HBO Max. You've got Outside the Wire on Netflix. News of the World, Tom Hanks' Western. I'm just not feeling that movie, so I don't know if I'm going to watch it. But there could be reviews coming out for those. I'm not making any promises. But definitely 100% this upcoming Friday, or next Friday, because we already had it air today, episode 3 of the Weekend Crusaders with myself and Brian Michaels. If you guys have enjoyed the first 2 episodes, you guys are really going to enjoy episode 3. We have some very unique films being picked for that one. I hope you guys are enjoying that show, because Brian Michaels and I are really enjoying doing these shows for you. And we might have new shows coming down the wire as well, so be on the lookout for that. But until next time, in case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Movie Crusaders.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.